Jack 10, fine hand to 4-bet bluff with. Again, I don't really love defending this hand, Jack 10 offsuit. Although I think it's fine. I would prefer to 4-bet bluff with a hand like this. It's coordinated. It's got some playability, but I think I prefer 4-betting with it. I think I prefer defending with much prefer defending with suited broadways. Something with a little bit more. You can flop, more top pairs. You won't get have to be forced to make a difficult call down. If it comes 10-6 deuce, queen 4, you won't be forced to make as difficult a call down with like king queen suited, jack 10 suited, something king jack suited. So I elect to 4-bet with this hand just because I basically don't want to play a huge pot with it post flop. And yeah, he 5-bets me, which he could definitely be bluffing here potentially, but we haven't got too much history, so I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt there and let him take it down. And I'm not too fussed about not getting to see a flop with Jack 10. Okay, so this fishy player opens blind on blind with me. I've got ace-8 of diamonds. I think it's fine to 3-bet here. I don't think he 4-bets too much. Just off the top of my head, remembering how he plays, I don't think he 4-bets too much. So, yeah, I don't mind 3-betting here. I think I'm going to get called and take the pot down a lot, but then I can always do loads of funky stuff post flop by just flatting and like raising flop. So he c-bets. We've got a hand that we can go back to as well. He c-bets. And I elect to just raise here. I don't think I've got enough equity to float. I think he's going to be c-betting too much already. I think he c-bets like 95% of the time, which is obviously far too much, and means he's just going to be c-betting blindly 100% of his range. So I think it's fine to go ahead and just raise this flop with a gutter and an over. I'm pretty much shutting down if I'm called, but I expect him just to fold out all of his air type stuff. I elect to go for a very small raise just because I don't think you actually have to invest too much of your stack when someone's c-betting so much. And like he's probably c-betting like say he's got 2-4 of spades, he's probably still c-betting based on them stats. So I elect to just go ahead and raise in that spot. On the top right, we float with a gut shot and backdoor clubs. Again, I don't mind check raising. We are going to get barreled a fair amount. I don't love check raising so much just because of our backdoor clubs and our gut shot, and forces us into a very difficult decision. We also don't rep too much. I mean, we can have pocket twos, we can have king 9, and that's really about it. I can't really see anything else. I mean, for the way I've been playing, I think he should be assuming that I'm 3-betting pocket 9s, obviously 3-betting kings. So it just leaves my range. I'm really like polarizing my range, and that obviously isn't what I want to do in this spot. I turn gin. Unfortunately, the turn goes check check. I think at this point, when he doesn't bet the turn, I think there's a chance he's got a hand like 10 jack, jack queen, maybe like a 9x type hand, like 9-10, 9-8. So I elect to just go for value, and I bet 35, which I think I bet 35, 32. Maybe this is a little bit too big, but I just don't know if once he checks back the turn with a jack or even a 9, I don't know that he's necessarily going to be folding. So I decide to just value bet fairly big, and he ends up calling me. Hopefully it'll pop up what he called me with, and he called me with a river 2 pair. So he actually he got pretty unlucky. But I think if the river comes like a deuce, I think he probably still calls. Just in the hope that I'm either turning a hand like pocket 3s, 4s, 5s into a bluff, or maybe I floated some type of ace high like ace 10, or like some type of backdoor flush draw hand like ace 8 of spades, ace 8 of diamonds, ace 8 of clubs, you know, ace X of whatever. And I think there is a chance that I get kind of looked up on that river. Yeah, so I think that the lead on the river's fine. Obviously, looking at his hand, we'd have preferred to check raise, but hey ho, that's life. Now this good player opens under the gun, Libfibian, I think his name is. We've got ace king in the small blind. I think the way I used to play was I used to probably flat over 3-bet in this spot, but now the games have got so super aggressive, this becomes like a really profitable spot when he 4-bets me and I can 5-bet shove. I think before people respected these type of 3-bets a lot more than they do now. So you get 4-bet bluffed a lot lighter, you get 4-bet bluffed a lot more, and you get 4-bet for value a lot lighter as well. So this becomes an insanely profitable spot, and he's going to defend in this spot a ton with hands that, you know, we have pretty crushed. Yeah, so definitely a spot I 3-bet in nearly 100% of the time now. Also, I'm looking at his stats there. He's got 21% under early position open, which is extremely high. Considering his mid position is 17 and his cutoff is 24, he's clearly not, or he may be taking advantage of that position and opening a lot under the gun. So that's definitely something that's worth taking into account in that situation when you get dealt a hand like ace king. We get dealt 10-7 hearts. I hope I squeeze. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah. Again, we haven't got the best image in the world, but you know, whatever. We're going to pick up the pot so often. I'm more worried about the button caller than Sunsea Jigawoo. Sunsea Jigawoo isn't a 4-bet monkey or that active, so I'm more worried about this guy when I make this move. But you know, we've got 10-7 hearts. It's not the worst spot in the world to get called. It's not like we've got like 7 deuce off or something. We've got some flop ability, and we're going to win the pot very often. So, and we don't mind getting 4-bet off this hand. So it's all good reasons for squeezing. I hope I isolate this fishy player here. Yeah. Again, he doesn't 4-bet very much. The blinds aren't playing back too much, so I don't have to worry about getting 4-bet bluff too much. He's going to fold some. I think he's very rarely going to 4-bet me, and I get to play in position with a hand that, okay, it isn't great, but you know, we can flop some good top pairs and we can get aggressive in position. And we take the pot down pre, if I remember rightly, and oh no, he calls. We get 4-bet on the bottom right table, which was what we were worried about from this player here. Could 5-bet based on the sizing, but I think it's more, what I see more often than not in this spot is actually a hand that basically he is representing. He has most of the time in this spot, like ace queen, like jacks, maybe even stronger. If he's got no dynamic with Sunsea Jigawoo, who's opened in the cutoff, then he's going to not expect to get 4-bet bluffed a ton. So he's going to wait for one of the active players in the blinds, which is me and this Libfibian guy, to squeeze and then make his move with like ace queen, ace king, maybe even stronger. So we are getting an insane price to peel, but yeah, I just don't feel like I don't know where I am if I hit a 10 or a 7, you know, and I genuinely feel like his range is pretty strong. So I'm just gonna give it up here and feel a little bit owned when he shows me 7 deuce, which he doesn't, but he might have. So we're left with a pretty easy c-bet here against this fishy player. I mean, I just don't feel like I'm going to get played back at too much on this board. A lot of the time he's just going to have broadways that peel to flop, maybe jack, queen, king, jack. I'm going to bet and assume that he's going to fold all of them, and then once he calls, I think we can start to break his range a little bit down to more pair heavy type stuff, maybe some like random flush draws. So then when he peels the flop, we can barrel pretty much overs, and we can even go bet shove. I'm not too worried about that. You know, I think he's gonna raise most of his sets on this board. I think most of these type of guys do when there's like 2 clubs out there. I think they mostly raise, so we can start to break his range down when we're peeled. So getting into these spots is insanely profitable, because we're going to be able to deduce the hand a little bit better than he is, and we're going to basically know where we're at a lot more than he is. So yeah, pretty easy c-bet with the plan to double barrel on a lot of turns, and we pick up the pot, which is obviously the best case scenario with 10-9 high.